Here is your daily news wrap. These are the stories that mattered today. Frank Ocean's album Blonde has turned 10 years old this month. The record was released in August 2016, arriving 4 years after Channel Orange and immediately reshaping what an R&B album could sound like. Critics and fans still return to it as a reference point for songwriters who followed. A decade on, listeners say the album keeps revealing new meaning with each replay, even as the world it was written in has moved on. Uber has added train travel to its app in India. Users can now search trains, book tickets, and check PNR status without leaving the app, then book a cab straight to the station in the same booking flow. This puts Uber directly against dedicated train ticketing apps and existing railway booking platforms. The company is betting that bundling the full journey, not just the cab ride, will keep users on its platform for longer trips. Inc. 42 has published its running tracker of India's listed new age tech companies, covering market capitalization and revenue across the sector. The tracker has followed these firms since their early startup days, through public listings on Indian stock exchanges. It gives investors a single view of how the country's newly listed tech firms are performing against each other. The list is updated regularly as more companies file earnings and new firms go public. The BJP has brought in new faces into its Uttar Pradesh leadership structure. The move comes as the party looks ahead to the 2027 state assembly election. These appointments are being read closely for what they signal about Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's standing within the party ahead of that vote. The new lineup will shape how the BJP organizes its campaign in India's most politically significant state over the next 2 years. New York Giants quarterback Jaxson Dart has not played in the team's preseason game against the Miami Dolphins. Dart had seen action in the Giants' first preseason outing against the Minnesota Vikings on August 15th. His absence this time has prompted questions from fans and reporters about the reason behind the call. Preseason snaps are typically used to evaluate depth chart battles, so any change in Dart's workload will be watched closely by Giants coaching staff. India has introduced a new rule capping how many SIM cards can be issued against a single person's number. The change affects mobile users who currently hold multiple connections under their name. Telecom operators will now flag and restrict issuance once a customer crosses the new limit. Users can check their own account to see how many SIM cards are registered against their identity and report any connection they did not authorize. Yungblud crowd surfed in a wheelchair during a recent concert, weeks after breaking his leg. The singer had injured himself ahead of a gig at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Rather than cancel the show, he performed from the wheelchair and let the crowd carry him through the venue. He joked about the injury afterward, calling it a good way to break his leg, and kept the tour dates running despite the setback. Indian Railways' Vande Bharat network now includes 9 routes picked out for their scenery alone. The list stretches from Kashmir's mountain landscapes to the misty Western Ghats and Kerala's countryside. Each route turns the journey itself into the attraction, not just the destination at the end of the line. Travelers looking for a scenic ride now have a specific set of Vande Bharat corridors to choose from across the country. Wakefit shares have surged 17% this week, making it the top gainer among India's new age tech stocks. Most listed new age tech companies closed the week in the green. Lenskart and Turtlemint both touched new highs during the same stretch of trading. The gains come as investor appetite for India's recently listed consumer tech and insurance tech firms continues to firm up across the board. The Citizens for Justice and Peace has stepped up pressure on the BJP government functioning in parts of Bengal. The organization has raised the death of an activist's father, turning it into a flashpoint alongside a separate row over schools. Both issues are now being used to question the state administration's handling of law and order. The pressure adds to scrutiny the Bengal BJP government is already facing over its recent decisions. Phoenix Mercury guard Kelsey Plum is not playing tonight against the Atlanta Dream. Plum had already missed Phoenix's previous 2 games and remained listed on the injury report heading into Saturday's matchup. Her continued absence leaves the Mercury without one of their key scoring guards for a 3rd straight contest. Coaches and fans will be watching her next injury report update to see when she is expected back on the court. The USB port on most smart TVs can do far more than just play movies from a flash drive. It can expand your TV's storage, record live programs, and even connect gaming controllers. 7 distinct features are packed into that one port, according to a rundown of its capabilities. Most owners use it for a single function and never explore the rest, leaving most of what the port can do completely unused. Subscribe to Trending.ai for the day's headlines every evening.